Today's video is all about this comment, but we don't have good teachers. You are connecting with the future of your country. Or why are you in this teaching field? Anyway, it could be put in so many things. Saying that I will do, please give me the job. What happens when it comes to promotion, when it comes to salary increment, and when it comes to other factors? I came across a comment for one of my videos on my YouTube channel, and today's video is all about this comment. So welcome to another video on my channel. If you're visiting the channel for the first time, please read the channel description. We focus on English language and mental health. Now, when it comes to an interview, I think this video is going to help people who are not only planning to join the education team, but also people who love to teach, people who want to practice learning and teaching, not just the experts, because it's a kind of approach. So the first point is, when you go to a school, when you appear for an interview, they of course check your communication and confidence level. Now, when I say confidence, we have a lot of teachers who are qualified today. We don't face any scarcity with qualification, but we don't have good teachers. Communication is very important when it comes to a teacher, a trainer, a tutor, a professor. Even if you don't deal with language, which means even if you don't see language as a subject in schools, you need to be good with communication. It's not because you're going to write report cards. It's not because you're going to speak to the parents. It's not because you're going to teach using your voice and your knowledge. It's just because you are a teacher. You're connecting with students. You are connecting with the future of your country. So communication is something that's very important because your students will look up to you, at least some of them. There could be people who are going to imitate you with your communication skills. The next thing is, definitely when it comes to an interview, I will speak from my experience of taking interviews at college level and also university. So when you appear for the interview, of course, the dress code is very important. You should be in formals. Formals doesn't mean you have to always be in sari. It depends on what the institution and organization is looking into. Now, they may ask this question: tell me something about yourself. It could be a semi-formal interview where the HR or the principal or an interview panel will get to know more about you. It could be very formal or sometimes semi-formal. Don't worry, they have all gone through this process. I know that people who appear for the first time may face some sort of anxiety and nervousness, however skilled and talented you are, and that's quite natural. It's fine. So introduce. You don't have to give an elaboration and description. Don't keep describing and yapping or even bragging, boasting about what you have been doing. So begin with your name, where you're from. If you have got teaching experience, you can mention that. And also what you have been doing. Make it very brief. Okay? Just 4 or 5 sentences, because they will have other questions. So some people will have follow-up questions. So from there, for example, if you say, I've been teaching math for the past 5 years, they may ask you, what brings you to this profession? Why did you choose this subject? Or why are you in this teaching field? Anyway, it could be put in any way. So you have to answer accordingly. So you may have to say why you like the subject. It doesn't mean that you have to tell, see, I was a rank holder when I was in school, so I thought of teaching. Teaching has got nothing to do with the academic excellence. Of course, you need to have subject knowledge, but that's not what schools are looking for now. It's the skill to communicate, to deliver class, to be very approachable, to understand the need of the learner sitting in front of you. Yeah. So you give the answer. And after that, they may ask you to speak about your experience. So even if you're a fresher, you can say, I am a fresher. I'm looking forward to developing my skills with this organization. And you can add 2-3 lines. Now, before that, some institutions will check if you're aware about the objectives, the vision of the institution. So it's good to always go through the website. If it's a known organization, you will know all about it. So take some time to go through the website, the organization, the vision, the mission. Now, I do not mean to say that you have to regurgitate everything that you learned just like that and just vomit. No. In short, you're telling them that I'm fit for this role because of this. So they need to check if their vision, if their objectives match your approach and your attitude as a teacher. It's not that you're not a good candidate. If you don't get selected, it's not that you're not a good candidate. This applies to every profession. It's because you don't meet the requirements of that institution at that particular point of time. This can be done by speaking to people who have worked there or who are still working there, because you get the first-hand experience, the fresh experience, live experience. Otherwise, you can also read about them, see a few reviews. You cannot believe all the reviews just like that, but have an overall idea. See how they speak to you, how they treat you like as a candidate. That is important. Then the next point is they will check your subject knowledge. They will probably ask you, why are you into this subject? So it's just to check why you think that you're fit to be this subject teacher, math, chemistry, English. So just cross-checking. And after that, they may ask you, what is your teaching style? So you don't have to say, see, I do this, I prepare worksheets, I prepare lesson plans on time, and I'll be able to do all these things. Paperwork can be done by most of the teachers. You require some sort of training. It's important. I mean, it's quite easy. There are people who are not used to paperwork, because I've come across teachers who have been teaching for 40 years and then they say, I'm not comfortable with Google Drive, so I don't want to do it. I want somebody else to help me. You can ask for help, but it's important to update yourself. Okay, because times are changing and it's quite easier. Okay, so whether it's paper or the technology, the point is be ready to learn. Be open to certain things. Now that doesn't mean people can trample. You shouldn't give the idea that I'm willing to do anything. Oh yes, I can take 8 hours a day. You shouldn't promise the number of hours. You shouldn't promise so many things, saying that I will do, please give me the job. You don't have to beg. Be confident, have the right attitude. Speak about how you are a learner, how you take initiative to learn things towards learning, and also how important it is to be approachable and accessible to students. Anything very interesting, 1 or 2 points, that's enough. And then of course some institutions will ask you to come for a demo session on the same day or some other day, where you may have a principal or the vice principal, a coordinator or some senior member to check the delivery, to check how you communicate. So sometimes they'll give you the portion in advance, but otherwise they will just give you a portion on the spot and ask you to teach. Prepare for some time and then take the demo session. Now when you communicate with the students, of course the students will know that you're a new person, a new teacher standing in front of them. They'll be very inquisitive, they'll be curious. When it comes to the high school students also, they may not give you that pleasant smiling face. They will always have that suspicion, or some people will be very pleasant. Now you need to know how to handle a class, right? That's very important. Class management is important. So that's what they will check. It's not about mugging up the subject and then just delivering. These are nouns, this is verb, this is that. But how do you make it interesting? Now you shouldn't overdo that. How you present, you deliver the concept in such a way that the learners sitting in front of you are able to understand. Now you will have learners from different levels, so that's important. Even if you're a fresher, if you can be trained is also important, because some people cannot be trained. I have told some teachers to work on the communication skill. They are good with subject, They could be good with the subject, but they will be asked to work on the communication skill and reappear for the interview maybe after a stipulated framework of time. So possibly they may ask a few questions from the curriculum vitae, and they may ask you about your achievements or skills. Why do you think that you're good with communication skills? You know, something very subtle, something that you're very, very familiar with. So they will check how you are going to put this in words. And another point that comes to my mind is you should have some sort of communication with your seniors. You will be asked to report to your coordinator or to your principal. But you need to be in touch with the senior authorities, because miscommunication can happen. Okay, sometimes the principal or the coordinator, knowingly or unknowingly, may not report all the necessary details, the information. They may not pass on the progress or the evolution of you as a candidate. So what happens when it comes to promotion, when it comes to salary increment, and when it comes to other factors? You need to progress as an individual and as a professional. Now, this may hinder such things. It's not that people don't get the report, but sometimes, you know, things could be miscommunicated. So you should have some sort of communication with your seniors. Sometimes freshers are also very skilled. They may take a class in such a way that they have got more experience than a teacher who have worked for almost 40 years, who have been into the profession for almost 50 years, because of their creativity, because of their passion. Yes, and it's important to learn from your seniors also, because when it comes to an institution or an organization, everything is new. From the infrastructure to the faculty members and to the students, everything is going to be new. So you need to create a small bond, a kind of professional bond. Sometimes good friendship goals also could be there for the teamwork. It's important to work as a team. Here we are not in a rat race. When it comes to schools, I have seen schools like that, where they just want to prove themselves. They operate as islands. It's a problem with the management and the organization, where they are not able to put everything together. Because when you work as a team, things will happen for the better. You need to work on your individual skills also, where everybody gets equal opportunities. I know it's not possible everywhere, because you will have all these politics and confusion and miscommunication created. But most of the time when you work as a team, it's good. So make sure that you get the feedback, the suggestions of people who are very constructive. Definitely you will have damaging and also deconstructive people in the environment who could come and be very dominating, saying that I have been working here for the past 10 years, you can take my help because I know everything about the institution. So listen to people, don't form conclusions. I have already done another video on this topic, professionalism, how to behave at your workplace. This is the video. Please watch that video as well. And one more possible question could be, what is your salary expectation? You need to be very transparent with this, because you'll be producing your pay slip or the credential. But along with that, you can say, this is what I was paid because of this reason. You could speak about your job profile, about your designation. And then you can also say, I look forward to developing my skills because this organization is a huge platform. And I'm sure that I'll be able to sharpen my skills. And this is my expectation. Put it in a very subtle and polite way. Don't say, I want this much. And I'm happy. I'm more than happy if you're going to do this. I mean, put it in a very good, natural way. It's not all about begging and requesting and submitting yourself to everything that they say. And also one more possible question is, how will you cope up with learners who need more time? It's not about being a weak student or a strong student. How will you cope up with learners? So don't give promises saying, I'll stay back till 6 o'clock and give tuition classes to the student. No. You have to be very sure about what you're going to do. You need to help the student. Of course, individual classes. Try to find out what exactly is the problem. Whether it's the problem in the classroom, whether it's a problem with the teacher, whether it's because of some other factor that the child is not able to understand, and then look into the problem instead of giving monotonous reply, monotonous response, and say that I have done everything that I can, but it's not working, or it's something that is beyond my reach. You need to try. Every day as a teacher, you have to try different methods. So be open to approach, be open to constructive criticism, take feedback from the right people. Because when you try doing something important in your life also, when you take new steps, you need to take new steps when you're working with an organization, and many people may discourage you saying that, oh, we are not used to it. So sometimes I would say that teacher needs to be a performer. You may have to teach songs, you may have to move around. It's not staying in one place and then giving lectures. You're not a lecturer. Okay? I have heard parents saying that you need to entertain and teach, make the learning process entertaining. You can induce fun into learning, but you're not here for entertaining. You can go to the theater or some other place for entertainment purpose, where there also I think they have got some purpose. There is some message conveyed. So education is different. Okay, don't make it very serious, but it's more about inducing fun, enjoyment, learning. Gradually learning becomes subconscious. You show them how to learn all by yourself, right? Okay, I hope that all these guidelines help you in the future. And also, if you got any particular question, you could email that question to me or post it as a comment. Thank you so much, and happy learning.